anytime you read religious texts in which the being that we are worshiping is picking people to do things, big, great, scary, wondrous things, who gets picked? Is it a person who's done everything right their entire life? Is it a person who's like perfect? It is a person who has everything they need. They are perfectly equipped. They are perfectly talented. And everyone around them is like, oh, yeah, that's what you're going to do? Absolutely. We totally support you in that. No, that is not how this works. Look at all of the really put the spiritual, religious, all of that to the side. If you're like, I don't like, right? Even without that, look at the people in life who do really big things. Look at artists, right? A lot of there's a lot of artists that get canceled. There's a lot of people out there who are like, "Ooh, they've been through some stuff." Or like, "Ooh, they've done some stuff." And yet the art that they create is transformative. It is moving. It speaks to people. Why? Because they've been through it. Because it's full of emotion and it's full of curiosity and it's full of pain and it's full of resonance. The reason why we resonate with these stories and the reason why we resonate with these bodies of work that people create out of pain is because we're like, wow, they're kind of like me. They started where I started, or worse. All of these things, wow, they created this out of that. If you feel aimless, and it is because people have taught you that you don't know how to decide, I'm going to say a rude thing. Are you done proving them right? Are you done proving the people who told you that you make bad decisions, that you're no good, that you're not going to be anyone, that you're going to fail? Are you done proving them right? Because if you decide to just get plopped down in the desert where you've been plopped and you decide that you're not going to make a move, they're right. Is that not the worst decision you can make? To not walk in any direction, to just sit here day after day after day, to resign yourself to mediocrity, to resign yourself to, yeah, this is fine. I guess this works. Are you done? One of the questions we ask actually in our space, and there's some context that goes around it because it's kind of a mean question. It's not a mean question. It's actually a very kind question, but it's a rude question, right? It's not a mean question. It's a rude question because I'm asking it to you now to help you later. Are you done suffering? And sometimes we're not, right? I love this question. My husband asks me this sometimes. He's like, "You done?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not done. I need to feel my feelings for another minute. I need to judge myself for 5 more minutes. I need to get mad about this. I need to see this not clearly. I need to feel my feelings." Okay, yeah, now I'm done. I'm done. All right, what's the move? Am I going to treat myself like I make good decisions? Am I deciding from this moment forward that the protective thing I do for myself is to believe in myself? That the protective thing I do for myself is to remind myself that no matter what direction I walk in, if I make mistakes, I will handle it. Y'all, some of y'all don't know me well. Some of y'all haven't been following us. You haven't listened to the podcast. You haven't watched some of the lives. Invitation to go back. There's a little bit of tea in there. I have done some things in my life. These last 2 years, I've done some things when I got really dysregulated, when I forgot who I was, when I forgot that I'm actually really good at some things, when I forgot that I actually make good decisions, when I believed all of the lies. I forgot. And I got to a place where I was sitting there in threat of being alone. in threat of not having any of my needs really met, no psychological safety, not a lot of choice or agency, not a lot of physical resources. And I had to go, okay, am I done? Yeah, I'm done. And then I had to ask myself that question like 17 more times. And here's the key though. I was no longer trapped because I had done that work. A lot of times the work you have to do to get out of feeling trapped is then followed by the work of feeling aimless. This is something we hear a lot in our spaces. People do all this work of uncovering everything that they've been told, like everything, deconditioning from everything they've been told and taught about themselves that's not true, and uncovering who they really are at the core and what they believe about themselves and what they want. But those are two different processes. Those are two steps to the process. The first step is, what has everybody told me that's not true that I need to let go of? And then the second process, this is where a lot of people get very tripped up, right? That process plops you in the desert. Because now you're like, wait a second. What? Okay, I don't know anything anymore. And then that's when remember, you don't know anything and you've made bad decisions in the past. And that's where that stuff comes in. And it's a whole nother process. Okay? So hear me, please, if you're open to it. A lot of y'all are stopping. You're stopping because you think that the first part of the process is the only part of the process that you need. And it's not. You need the second part of the process. And here's the other key piece. You will recover yourself with all of that stuff from that first process if you don't move into new spaces where people actually want to meet your needs. If you go right back to spaces where people tell you that you're not enough and that you're wrong and you're bad, and they take away psychological safety when you choose, or they take away physical resources when you try to get love and respect, if you go back to those spaces, if you keep yourself surrounded with those people who live in that way, you will go back. I've seen it time and time again. This is something that so many people who have been in our space from the beginning of the Institute, about 2 years, this is something a lot of them have recently gone through, myself included. If I keep putting myself back in spaces where I learned all of that untrue stuff before, then it's going to be really hard for me to not put that back on. This is why I'm inviting you into our space. This is why I'm inviting you to the TRIPS conference. This is why once you come to that, we're going to invite you into our 9-month foundational program if it makes sense for you. Or maybe you want to wait and go into a business program, or you want to start with a self-study course because we got those. Whatever you want to do. But the TRIPS conference is what is next. And it's us walking you through the actual trauma and resiliency and recovery process, because it's not just the one step you think it is. You think you just have to move, and that's not it. First, you have to free yourself up to move. And then you have to discern where you are moving to and be very intentional about that. And one of the fastest, most effective, helpful tools that I can give you, or that you can go find for yourself if you don't want to receive it from me and us and our team, is to surround yourself with people who are in support of you moving, who, when they notice you stumble or fall, they're like, hey, are you feeling tired? Is this really hard? Can you still not see where you're headed? Are you worried? Are you scared? We got you. We get you. We get you. We understand you. We see you. We hear you. And we've got you. What do you need? Let us support you. And this is the third phase that we haven't talked about. Once you're moving, and once things start working, especially if there's still any ties to the past that haven't been cleaned up, that haven't been boundaried, that haven't been cleared, that haven't been repaired, your brain's going to do something really fascinating. It's going to go, oh, I'm good now. I'm good. Great. I'm moving. This is great. I'm moving. I watched Lee's live. She explained this to me. I'm going to go put this into practice. I'm moving. I'm good. I've done this so mmany times. I'm good. Now that you've helped me, now that I've been supported, now that my needs are met, I'm good. I can do this alone. Bye. See ya. I'll just watch this live. I'll just listen to the podcast. I'll just do the free stuff where there's no actual communal support, but I kind of feel like I'm being supported while Lee's live or the team members are live, and then that'll be enough. Look, I don't care if you join our community or not. I really don't. I would love to have you in there, and I don't care if you join us. Meaning, it makes no difference to me where you get supported. What I deeply care about is that you get supported. Because this idea that you get enough support to be able to do it alone, and then you go live a solo life and you don't rely on anyone else, you're forgetting you're a mammal. You're forgetting you're a mammal. Back to the beginning, part 1, if you didn't see it, not part 1 yesterday, but part 1 before my internet cut out today. First part of this live. You're forgetting you're a mammal. Mammals need connection. They need love. They need community. They need help. They need assistance. They need support. Mammals need other mammals. And yes, your dog and your cat count, but they also can't talk to you. They can love you and snuggle you when you're having a rough day, but they can't process things out verbally with you when something goes really hard. They can't take you food. They can't support you in the way that another human can, that other humans can. You get to have community. It is one of the key pieces of this. And I get it. It is so scary. This is scary. It is scary to go, yeah, I'm going to join another community, because I am sure that you have been hurt in community. I bet $1. If there's anyone watching this who has not been hurt in community, who has not been hurt in relationship with another person, please send me a DM. I will send you $1. Also, tell me your secrets. Put you on this live and you teach, because that's the place I've been hurt the most, is in relationship. The reason trauma happens in community. And that's why we need to heal it in community. And so many of you, though, are trying to heal in the communities that caused the trauma in the first place. And while that can happen, you need a community. You need a community that isn't actively traumatizing you, that is separate from the places and spaces you are living, so that you can process and you can get support and help. And I have yet to find another community that feels like ours. I know they exist. I personally have yet to find another community that feels like this. So I'm inviting you to our conference. This isn't a normal conference, y'all. This isn't a normal conference. This is, I'm thinking of the Mean Girls. I'm not one of those moms. I'm a cool mom, right? We're not one of those communities. We're a cool community. No, there's a bunch of really amazing communities out there. And I have yet to find one that focuses on meeting all of your needs the way ours do. Ours does. So, invitation, join us. Super easy. You go to institutefortrauma.com/TripsCon. TRIPSCON. You can do it all uppercase, all lowercase, whatever you want. institutefortrauma.com/TripsCon. Come, join us. Send this to someone else in your life who you know needs this, because you're not stuck. Your nervous system is sending you very clear messages of what it needs in order for you to be able to move. You're not stuck. You're trapped and or you're aimless, and that is okay. That is normal. And you get to actually find a way to move that doesn't freak your nervous system the heck out. Because so many of you are doing this stop-start thing where you're trying to like shove yourself into movement, or you're hiring people to push you into movement, and then you're freaking out and you're ghosting them, or you're fighting, or you're you're falling apart and burning out, and you're having all of these things happen because that person doesn't understand, or that group or that coach or that leader or that whomever doesn't understand that you're not stuck. So I hope to see you all in there. I really do. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, that's my live for today, because no, there's one more thing I want to say. I don't want to see you again here next year. I don't want to see you again here next year. I don't want next year. And here's the thing, maybe that's part of your process. That's okay. Maybe you need to be stuck for a little bit longer. Maybe you're not done suffering. Maybe there's external forces happening that you're like, Lee, I feel you and I see you. And also I am in a dilemma and there isn't a choice here right now. And I am owning that. And what I am choosing is to ride this out for a little bit longer. Great. Choose it. Choose it. Okay. Choose it. Don't say, oh, I really would love to do that, but I can't. Don't dilemma it then. Remember, you can either change your perception, you can decide that you're cool with these options, or you can change the options. So change your perception and go, yep, you know what? I can and I will, or find a different option, or decide you're cool with where you're at right now. I'm gonna chill here for a hot minute. And then in X amount of time, I'll look at if I want to move or not. Okay? Choose it. Choose it, because you always have a choice. That's one of those things I've heard people say that that's a gaslighting thing to say. I don't believe it, that you always have a choice what you do next until you no longer have any choices. You may not like the choices. All the choices in front of you may be completely like, I don't want to do any of these. And you still get to choose. And you get to be kind to yourself by owning that choice instead of just going, well, I guess I don't have a choice. Yes, you do. Own your choice. And whatever you choose, you're allowed to choose that. Okay? Now I'm done. I love you all. I will see you back tomorrow for another spicy live. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. It's my birthday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on my birthday, but I'm going to talk about something fun. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you hanging with me with the chaos of the internet going out. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.